On a numbers game, the right data changes everything, and the data behind Shopify is hard to argue with. Millions of businesses worldwide run on it, including our own VSiN store. When we launched, Shopify's templates and AI tools got us live fast. Professional looking from day one. No tech background needed. Shopify checkout converts more customers and makes it easy for returning fans to come back and buy again in a single click. Shopify's built-in AI assistant Sidekick is there whenever you need help, building, troubleshooting, or just figuring out your next move. Check out what we built at vsin.com/store. Then go build something of your own. All you need is the idea. Shopify handles the rest. Start your free trial at shopify.com/vsin. That's shopify.com/vsin. Shopify.com/vsin.
The numbers told the story, they always do.
It's one of those idiots who believe in analytics.
This is a numbers game with Gil Alexander on VSiN.
Good Wednesday morning to you. It is a numbers game at VSiN, the sports betting network, VSiN.com, Game Plus, iHeartRadio, YouTube TV, and of course, Sirius XM Channel 158. Gil Alexander from sunny San Francisco. I got to endure this for 3 seconds before this goes away. Kelly Bidlin back in Vegas at Circa Resort Casino at the VSiN Studios, high atop the world's largest sportsbook. Good morning to you, sir.
Good morning. Yes, you look so much better with a nice shadow right across your face, you know?
Hey, thank you. That's what everyone says.
The shot was so gorgeous yesterday. Of course we couldn't have that every day.
This is a throwback to the first couple days I was here, right? Where the first few segments, it's, by the way, not hot at all in this black shirt. Black shirt was not a good choice, I believe, is what they said in Anchorman.
Get a glass of milk and turn up the heat. You'll be good.
On the show today, we are packed. Will Hill will join us. Feel like I haven't talked to Will on this show in about a month. That's what it feels like to me. I think last time I was here, he was off. Will Hill will join us. All of his bets, we'll keep him for a couple segments because I miss him so. Paul Sporer on Major League Baseball a little later. Nick Whalen, we'll talk National Football League, maybe some NBA thoughts from him as well. Toddy Wishnev, Major League Baseball, who knows, maybe some WNBA. I'm not sure what's on that man's mind. And a little later on, Kelly. And Kelly has decided to, you said you're moving out of the studio for this one. James Farah, Steven Shalansky, they are the two creators or the two producers. I think they're both, right? They're creators /
producers, yeah.
Yeah, of the Circa Survivor documentary. The quest for $18.7 million. I believe this is year 3 of the documentary. Do I have that right?
I believe you are correct, and we premiere tonight.
Premieres tonight. Episode 1 of 7 episodes this year, chronicling last year's Circa Survivor and Circa Grandissimo contests. So they will be in studio, and we'll talk to them about just how this has evolved. You know, do they still get charged up for this? Has it gotten old for them? You know, I'm curious. How many years can you do this before you're like, we can't do this again? Or is it still as exciting as ever? We'll find out. Kelly doesn't want to be in the studio for it, so okay, we'll find out. You don't want to be Moni in the middle.
It's tough with you on remote. Yes. Yeah. It's tough with you on remote, and then we got to talk to people. We got a couple mics. Yeah. Figure it out. It might be a disaster. Don't get me wrong. If something tech-wise doesn't work or something, I might have to run out here. We'll see.
Oh, that would be awesome. You mid-sprint, you just roll out into the studio. Tennis today. Let's start here. There were 5 plays for subscribers, vsin.com/picks. The first one is in the books. It was a loss. Arthur Rinderknech lost to Sebastian Baez in 3 sets. He was minus 105. So we started with a loss on the overnight. 3 are going on right now. Mixed results. Alina Karaeva is down a set to Sinja Kraus. Alina Karaeva is a plus 147 dog. She is down a set. They are on serve in the second. Karaeva up 2-1. We'll see how that goes. The frustrating one, at least till this moment, was the Katarzyna Kawa plus 168 play versus Paula Badosa. Kawa 0 for 9 on break points in the first set, and Badosa steals it from her. And now Kawa has decided to finally get the break here early in the second set. So we'll see if this turns around. The biggest dog on the board is Roman Andres Bruchaga, who is plus 210 versus Nuno Borges. He is up a break. I mean, he's up 2 breaks, but it might come down to 1 break here in the first set. So we'll see how that evolves. The one that has not started, I don't believe it has started. Alex Molcan, he is a minus 130 favorite versus Daniel Altmaier. That is the only one that has not started yet. So we'll see how these evolve through the morning. But if you want to jump on some tennis, that's the one. Molcan minus 130 versus Altmaier. You were saying you were watching the ones in Austria. You thought it was beautiful over there.
Yeah, I think that's where old Roman's at. And I don't know. I can't remember who said this like in the past couple weeks about him, Gil, but I don't know how you make a bet on this guy or watch this guy and not hear what is it, REO Speedwagon, right? The Burachaga, I can't fight this feeling. That song, you know what I'm talking about?
Wow. That was impressive.
Was it REO? Is it REO Speedwagon? Is that who did that?
Yeah, I think I Can't Fight This Feeling is REO Speedwagon, right?
I kind of just quick Googled it, but I don't know why I didn't believe the Google results.
Yeah, Burachaga, by the way, I'm old enough to remember his dad played soccer for Argentina. Jorge Luis Burachaga back in the day. So this is his son.
Yeah, he's out there.
I'd rather sing REO Speedwagon.
The Austria, I was telling you about it, man. It was great. I don't know what little town they're in, but clearly it's like a little like ski town because it's right on the side of the mountains where they have the arena, and like you can see the ski resort and the passes up there and the runs. And then there's like the golf course on the other side. So it looks like a cool town, whatever that is. We'll take the show on remote next year for it.
There we go. Tennis, Austria, we're there. Okay. I apologize to one segment of the audience for this, but I think we have to say this at the top also. There was this funny little LeBron James thing that happened last night. For those who missed it, there was a link to a scheduled live stream posted from the Miami Heat YouTube channel for the date July 27th, right, which is 5 days from now. This was last night, so it would actually be 6 days forward. The Heat posted a link to a scheduled live stream titled, quote, LeBron James introductory press conference with that date. And then the team spokesperson said, yeah, it was a mistake. We messed that up. So what was interesting, I guess, Kelly, the only thing I really want to say about this is in the age of prediction markets, which makes this even more sensitive, right? Mm-hmm. It didn't, like, that market really didn't move that much based on this. Were you surprised by that?
Yeah, I was. Minus 164. Oh, boy. Apologies. 104. Minus 104 on Miami Heat right now. It's really small, fine print. Cleveland plus 230. Golden State plus 573. And Philadelphia plus 848. Yeah, I was, Gil, just because... Man, this has been moving every single day based on the smallest pieces of information. And I mean, at first I was just kind of surprised by that, but like over the weekend, I was like, man, I really wish I had Kalshi, and I was just kind of scooping up some plus prices because who knows how long LeBron's going to drag this out. I mean, this is like an interesting piece of evidence, at least, that I'm surprised didn't swing this market more. But yeah, I mean, it doesn't mean anything. You don't know. I mean, this could easily be just social media teams trying to get ahead of any potential work, right? This could absolutely be meaningless. Well, this could happen, and let's be prepared if it does. So let's get this stuff scheduled so we don't have to worry about it when that time comes. I mean, it could just be that, or it could be something more serious. I don't know.
Yeah, who knows? It didn't move much. That was just sort of the surprise there. And still no official word where LeBron James will play in case you care about such things or want to bet on such things at a prediction market right now. The other thing, of course, the big thing in our world is the Boston Red Sox. The Red Sox postponed yesterday because of rain. We knew that about 24 hours ago. We talked about on the show yesterday that the Red Sox second game of a 3-game set with the Orioles was bound to be postponed, and it was. But today we have the old day-night doubleheader. Day-night doubleheader. By the way, the Red Sox 14-1 in the month of July on a 14-game winning streak after losing the first game of the month to the Nationals. The Brewers, Kelly, lost last night. So even with the Red Sox idle, it was not empty of good news. The Brewers lost to the Mets. They got blanked 4-0. So they remain 3 wins behind our beloved Red Sox. And by the way, the Red Sox with 2 games today, they have 10 games left in the month. The Brewers only have 8 games left in the month also. So even that favors our Bo Sox. But, from our perspective, again, for the 80-1 play on most wins in July, you get a split today, you're pumped because then you will have won the series against the Orioles. That's why that first game, that dramatic win in game one, the 6-5 win was so big, because if you split with the O's, because the O's were only, 3 wins back starting this series. But if you split today at a minimum, all of a sudden your magic number is already 5 with just, more than a week left, more than a week left in the month. So a split is paramount today. But of course, the Red Sox aren't thinking about a split. They're thinking about history today, Kelly. If they win today, it will match the longest winning streak in the history of the Boston Red Sox, which is just, it's not like matching the longest win streak in the history of, I don't know, the Colorado Rockies. This is a team that has existed for 100. This is their 126th year. And only in 1946, when Ted Williams came back from World War II, did they manage a 15-game winning streak, 1946. So this would match that with the win this morning. By the way, if you're interested in betting on this game this morning, it's Dean Kramer of the Birds, Leaflet, going up against the Red Sox, Jake Bennett. Jake Bennett, Red Sox, about a minus 149-ish favorite last I looked. Jake Bennett, 5 straight. We're showing minus 139. Jake Bennett, 6'6" tall, 5 straight quality starts for the Sox, 1.22 ERA over that span for the season, 2.35 ERA. He's not quite that good with the advanced stats, but he's really not that bad either. 2.99 expected ERA, 3.03 fielding independent. Those are all good. Now the xFIP is a little higher because his 3.83 because his home run to fly ball rate's a little ridiculous at 5.7%. But this is what the Red Sox are thinking. They, Kelly, I'm not sure if you're aware of this, probably not aware of our bet on them for most wins in July. Yeah, so they're just thinking about history.
Probably not. You and I have talked about these markets for a long time now. The one that is kind of funny with this is how many times have you and I talked off air where it's like, man, if only you could just have the best month run and it didn't have to start at the first of the month and end at the end of the month, right? Wow, did the timing line up perfectly for the Boston Red Sox in the month of July with that?
Yeah. And again, this is a whole bunch of months frustration coming out at once, a whole bunch of close calls in the process. But we haven't hit one of these in a couple years. Houston Astros, June of 2024 being the only other time we hit this, but this would be monster at 80-1.
Let's go.
Day-night doubleheader. Let's match the record this morning. And whatever happens tonight. See if they can break their record after that. Coming back, season wins. It's a Wednesday. Win Total Wednesday next on A Numbers Game. You're here because you want an edge. That's what separates listeners from winners. But let's be real, mindset alone doesn't get bets home. Pros win because they've got the tools, the data, and the discipline. And now so can you. VSiN Pro gives you access to the same real-time insights the sharps use. No secrets, no fluff, just actionable info that moves markets. Tap the link and see why serious bettors are turning knowledge into profit with VSiN Pro. On A Numbers Game, the right data changes everything, and the data behind Shopify is hard to argue with. Millions of businesses worldwide run on it, including our own VSiN store. When we launched, Shopify's templates and AI tools got us live fast. Professional looking from day one. No tech background needed. Shopify Checkout converts more customers and makes it easy for returning fans to come back and buy again in a single click. Shopify's built-in AI assistant Sidekick is there whenever you need help, building, troubleshooting, or just figuring out your next move. Check out what we built at vsin.com/store. Then go build something of your own. All you need is the idea. Shopify handles the rest. Start your free trial at shopify.com/vsin. That's shopify.com/vsin. Shopify.com/vsin.
A Numbers Game on VSiN, the sports betting network.
The NFL preseason is only a couple weeks away, and the smart money's already moving lines. Lock in our football special for just $175 before the price goes up next month. You'll get instant access to the VSiN NFL betting guide to help you attack futures, win totals, and player props. Plus, we're including the new Fantasy Life Fantasy Football Guide with over 425 player profiles, projections, and rankings to help you prep for your fantasy draft. Sign up now, and you'll get full VSiN Pro access across every sport through the Super Bowl. That includes daily best bets, real-time betting splits from DraftKings and Circa, AI-powered prop projections, and 25 24/7 video on the VSiN Watch app. Head to vsin.com/subscribe now. That's vsin.com/subscribe. Gil Alexander in San Francisco. Kelly Bidlin in Las Vegas. Kelly, we get tweets and they're all scolding us.
Hey, they're helping me out. I said it didn't sound like I thought it was REO Speedwagon, and that part was right.
Yeah. Well, J-Rod says something else. He said, main question today is, will Todd take another shot at Fez? I think that's a lock. That's coming up later.
Yeah, it's like minus 320.
Yeah, John Massey was the first to tell us that the Ooga Chaka chant introduction, Hooked on a Feeling, is actually by Blue Swede. So thank you, John, for being the first. Mike Zill's Duke 90 says it was popular on Ally McBeal, who he named his oldest after. Wow. There's a reference.
Yeah, wow.
And Jeff, I'll just read a couple of these. Jeff Johnson, I'm getting gambling advice from two guys that think the great REO Speedwagon sang the awful Hooked on a Feeling song. He said, haha, I kid you. Two are great. Love watching and listening every day. Thanks for all you do. It was Blue Sweet, by the way. Thank you, Jeff.
Gil didn't know I was going there, okay? I'll leave the music references for Gil Alexander going forward, okay? That's a lie.
I can't fight this feeling. Yeah. As Jeffrey DeVore tells us, I can't fight this feeling anymore as REO Speedwagon. You were singing the Blue Swede song, which itself, by the way, he tells us is a cover of a B.J. Thomas hit. So it's not even Blue Swede's original.
Oh, great.
Right.
Shabuzi all over again. More Shabuzi.
Oh, Shabuzi is theft, right? Well, not theft.
Shabuzi was a conversation before the show, so this has worked well into the show.
As I pointed out, there's so many artists from this century or late last century that people refuse to sort of accept got everything from somebody else. The Fugees, right? Lauryn Hill and the Fugees. Was it what's my man from Black Eyed Peas? Lauryn Hill. And anyway, everything they did was a sample from somebody else or theft from somebody else. And they get all this credit. It's like, come on.
will.i.am, that guy?
will.i.am. Yeah.
You know what? I will tell you, it doesn't mean that some of the remakes aren't better. Sometimes they are, right? Sometimes they're more popular. But you know what, Gil? I do kind of wish that, like, I guess I'm not buying a CD anymore. But anytime you're like getting this music, it should come with that, that warning somewhere on it. Like, by the way, this is not the original version of this.
Yes. Yeah, there's that, and then there's samples, which is that's a whole different category. By the way, do you prefer your remakes to be spot on to the original, or that they do something new and different with it?
Oh, that's a great question. Both. I kind of like a little bit new and different.
Greatest remake of all time. I will not be debated on this subject. Earth, Wind, and Fire doing the Beatles' "Got to Get You Into My Life." There
okay.
Super Jerk. Hi, guys. Couldn't wait for the show to start. Hope you have a great show. Have a wonderful day. Bye-bye. It's from Super Jerk, by the way. And then Larry Fresh, REO Speedwagon, Kelly Clarkson yesterday. Kelly is showing off the pipes. See him at a cocktail lounge singing during Bet Bash. Who was the guest you guys went to sing? Sing? That was not only a guest, but that was VSiN original host Al Bernstein, who I went to go see sing at his lounge act at the Tuscany. He was quite good, by the way. All right, you ready to do this, Kelly? A little Win Total Wednesday?
Let's do it.
Are the guys looking over or under? It's another edition of Win Total Wednesday on A Numbers Game.
Thank you, Ryan. I stepped on Ryan. My bad.
How dare you?
Sorry about that. So this is something we do usually during football season, but it's all year long, right? And it's just thoughts on different win totals. Some we've actually bet, some we have not. I have two in baseball that I thought I'd throw out there. One is the LA Dodgers under 102.5 wins. These are adjusted season win totals. Kelly, like last year, I just simply don't believe the Dodgers are incentivized in any way to try to eclipse this. I think they're going, the only thing that matters to this franchise, and rightfully so, is the postseason, is winning a World Series. All they care about is getting the 1 or 2 seed. And right now, the Brewers and the Dodgers are comfortably clear of everybody else in the National League. In other words, the Dodgers and Brewers, Dodgers are 64-38, Brewers are 63-38. The next best team is the Braves at 58-42. So right now, with still obviously more than a quarter of the season left, talking about 60 games left, Right now it's comfortable, but I just don't think there's a race. And remember, the Dodgers didn't end up with the number 1 seed last year. They didn't end up with the best record. The Brewers did. So I'm going under 102.5 just from a baseball management of games standpoint.
I like it. And then we I think we said this off the air the other day or yesterday, but you would lean to that Brewers price for the 1 seed, right? Isn't it? It's like 4-1 still. Yeah.
I still would. Yeah. Although, of course, the Miz, you got to monitor that situation. That's big for sure. Didn't play in the All-Star game on a pitch count here in his first start back. The other one's going to surprise some people because we have the 80-1 on the Red Sox in July. I'm not sure if that's ever come up on the show yet.
Yeah.
But, and this sort of, I brought this up yesterday because someone asked about it. I didn't bring it up. They asked about it. So it sort of provoked this conversation, which is, a couple people did, would you bet the Red Sox to win the division? And my answer to that is no, I wouldn't, because after this month, or more accurately, starting with the last day of this month when the Red Sox play the Dodgers, the schedule becomes one of the hardest the rest of the way in Major League Baseball. Not one of the hardest, but you're talking bottom third conservatively of the hardest, maybe even bottom 5 teams in terms of, or top 5 in terms of hardest schedules. So I think the Red Sox, Kelly, are the quintessential. We banged them when the schedule was perfect for it to go. They had been underperforming, right? But they have injury problems, big ones at Garrett Crochet and Roman Anthony, the biggest of all of them. They have more injuries than that. They're going to get some guys back like Ranger Suarez, I mentioned Trevor Story here, sooner than later. But the biggest names, Crochet and Anthony, those timetables are still very murky. So I would not bet them to win the division. However, they are the team that if you could just sneak them into the playoffs, and right now all projections say they will sneak into the playoffs. I believe that they will sneak into the playoffs. They become a monster, difficult out in the postseason because, again, of that 8-9, starting with the Garrett Whitlock, Aroldis Chapman end. They have a rotation that is sneaky good when it's at full force. I think the offense does have to still pick it up a bit, but that becomes a profile of a team you do not want to play in the postseason if they can sneak in. But that means that I kind of like the under on their season win total, cutting to the chase, because I think 84.5, based on the schedule that begins after this month, based on the injury issues, I think it's going to be tough for them to get to 85. I think they probably end up with 82, 83, 84, which in the American League, Kelly, is going to be good enough to get them in the postseason, I believe. So it's a threading of the needle with this team. Bang them when we're supposed to, which is in July. Be very cautious about them in August and September. Pray they can just do enough to get in the postseason, and then maybe think about a pennant bet on the Red Sox as well. That's what makes baseball so interesting.
I love that, Gil. I mean, from a guy who's holding an 80-1 on most wins in July, I think it's very easy for a team to get in your head and kind of sway you more than they should. And no, I think you're taking a realistic approach to what the rest of the regular season looks like here for them. And look, maybe that means, like you just kind of said, maybe it's a bet on to win the AL World Series as we get closer to the playoffs, but especially not right now. Wait for the heater to die down, right? They are going to lose some more games at some point. So, yeah, I think that's a great call.
You've got some in basketball.
That's right. NBA win totals starting to lock these in. So bet these starting 2 days ago and bet the other 2 last night. So we talked about the Jazz yesterday on the show. Won't go into a ton of details on that. I think most people are aware. Add Darren Peterson, add Jaren Jackson Jr., complete roster overhaul here for this Utah Jazz team that's been a tanking team for a long time now. That should be actually, I think, a threat to a play-in in the Western Conference. How about that, Gil? I'll go with that.
Okay.
My second favorite one, and this was, you could maybe wait. I am shocked this number's come down a little bit. Houston Rockets, over 47.5. And I know we are all left with lasting memories of how bad the Rockets looked in the playoffs. And yeah, it's completely fair. This is a team, I think even as we fast forward to next year, I don't know if I have a ton of trust in them in the postseason because of some of the lack of shooting surrounding this team. But this was never the plan last year. Fred VanVleet was always supposed to be a part of that team. We never saw him for the entire season. They still played incredibly well with Steven Adams early in the season before he got hurt. completely different looking team heading into this season. I like the over on the Rockets. I think they're still a very good regular season team. And then some regression in the Eastern Conference. Pistons under 50.5. They still got Jalen Duren things to figure out, and the rest of the East just getting better.
All right. Little Win Total Wednesdays, July edition. Will Hill, all his bets, every sport, every bet next. It's a numbers game right here at VSiN.
A numbers game on VSiN, the sports betting network.
Don't forget about the sharp plays, unmatched transparency with records updated daily, AI betting analysis, real-time global betting information, and alerts directly from the pros. You can scan the QR code on your screen for more. Sharpplays.com. Gil Alexander in San Francisco, Kelly Bidlin in Las Vegas here on a numbers game. We get tweets. I don't want to read them all again because, again, more of them are. We really botched the music segment this morning. Corbin talking about he immediately busted out with Uga Chaga about Burruchaga earlier as well. The numbers guys telling us that we messed up between Blue Suite and REO Speedwagon. Simple as that says absolutely must do something to a song when covering / remixing it. Otherwise, it's just professional karaoke. I agree with that. And then Tony Tag says, damn, boys, the music segment is falling apart. Wyclef Jean was in the Fugees, not will.i.am. Yes, it was Wyclef and Praz and Lauryn Hill. Still, they bid everything from other people. And Alan Harris points that out. He said the Fugees were Wyclef and Praz. Okay, geez, we messed that up. Oh, Chris Heath, this is interesting. He says, Chris Heath, I'm not rooting against the Red Sox. On July 1st, Caesar still had 60-1, but by the time I got to Verde, Nevada, the early game had started, didn't check updated odds next morning as I was meeting my proxy. Major FOMO. Yeah. A lot of people are. Right? You get that from people who don't have the bet. They're pretty bummed.
Yeah, completely understandable, right? Like, that's why we mentioned it a couple times. That thing, where you got it at and where you closed at, not the same numbers.
And then there's the occasional person on Twitter who's like, oh, that's a dart throw, because they don't have the bet, right? So they're all upset about it. It's like, I just went through 5 minutes of why I made the pick. There's no dart throw involved in any of it. Ladies and gentlemen, I haven't been on the show with him, I think, in like a month. Will Hill joins us now, courtesy of the Progressive Guest Line. You can follow him on Twitter at @NotTheWillHill. That's 2 E's on the "the." He, of course, is the host of the Shoulda Bet More podcast, and he has 75 kids and 14 dogs. How you doing, Will?
Wow.
Gilly, what's going on? Good to see you. And yes, I am one of those people with the FOMO. I just wasn't listening at the time. By the time I got to it, the number wasn't anywhere close. And you know how it is. You just you consider bets all day, and some of them you make, some of them you don't. If I had been listening at the time and had that number, I certainly would bet it. So, but I'm rooting for you. I'm not one of these people, I don't have it, I'm not rooting for it. I'm rooting for you to get home. It's looking good. We don't prematurely call anything here, but you're about as good a position as you can be, and hopefully you're able to cash it here.
Hopefully so. Will, well, thank you for that, brother. By the way, if Will's podcast Should Have Been More, if you want to subscribe, rate, and review, you can scan the QR code on the screen. Will gets the very bright Seahawks green for Should Have Been More 3 times a week. Who's your latest guest, by the way?
Jensen Lewis. One of my favorite things about Jensen when I have him on, just story time about when he was in the league, the trade deadline. He was telling a story about when I think it was CC Sabathia got traded and all the prospects that come in and guys going out and just what it's like from a player's perspective. So it's fun. You know how I love the old, the immaculate grid and hearing these old players and old names you haven't heard in forever. And Jensen has a bunch of stories which you get from being in the league and around the game that long, and it's great to get those from him.
Jensen texted me this morning about the Red Sox play. By the way, the sort of undercurrent of this show, we have 2 Hall of Fame immaculate grid players on the show today, Will Hill and Paul Sporer. Do not challenge them in immaculate grid. It's just ridiculous. Let's start with
Dustin's better than all of us. Dustin will go single digits, which really? Dustin's pretty good at it. Yeah.
Oh man. Okay, my apologies to the great Dustin Sweetelson.
I'm not going to make any cheating allegations. If other people made those allegations, I can't control what other people do, but I would never make those allegations.
Well, we'll challenge him in a couple weeks on it. Yeah, we'll bring it up in a couple weeks. I like it.
Some have said, you've heard, that kind of thing. Okay.
A lot of people
this
are saying.
This is a little, some people are saying, that's right. This is a little unconventional, but Danny Higgins, our esteemed producer, he gave Kelly and me a trivia question in the overnight. Now, I had actually heard this trivia question some months ago. I ended up getting it right, but it took me going through like all 32 NFL coaches before I figured it out. I'm wondering if you have heard this. Which current NFL head coach has more regular season rushing yards than Bo Jackson did in his NFL career? Bo Jackson ended up with 2,782 career rushing yards. And of course, the terrible injury against the Bengals cut his career short. The current head coach had 5 more rushing yards, 2,787. Can you name that coach, sir?
Oh, geez. I don't think I can. I'm going to have to buy time here and at least think of it.
Buy time.
Not going to be, boy.
You could think about it during the break.
It wouldn't be like a quarterback with Harbaugh. It's not Andy Reid. It's not McVay. Boy, I mean, we only have 5 minutes in this segment. I'm not going to list all 32 coaches. Boy.
Answer next segment, Will.
Answer next segment. You got another segment.
Yeah, let me think about it. I won't look it up.
Good idea, Will. We'll let you think about it. Okay. This is going to be funny, by the way, Kelly. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Did you just hear what happened? Mm-hmm. Okay. Let's get to Major League Baseball. You have some plays today.
I do, but all I can think about is the trivia question, so I don't even know what I was say. I played a few. I got a few today. Yankees and Pirates doubleheader. I'm playing the second game. I'm going to take the 1.5 with the Pirates. I don't mind, taking the plus price on the first 5 or taking the plus price on the full game. But Max Friedy's coming back for the Yankees, and he was supposed to have another rehab scheduled start. I don't like backing these pitchers off of rehab starts when they miss a lot of time anyway. When you're cutting your rehab short, that concerns me. It reeks a little bit of desperation here from the Yankees. Chandler, we know he's got the pedigree, he's got the stuff. Yankees aren't swinging the bats well, so the plus price on Pittsburgh looks good. I'll take the 1.5 here, where who knows? Maybe the Yankees don't get the ninth at bat, being the home team, and you sometimes get funky lineups and doubleheaders, which I usually don't like betting doubleheaders, but give me the Pirates plus the 1.5. I also took the Padres here against the Braves. You can get a little plus money. Martin Perez going for the Braves. King's the better pitcher for the Padres here. And the Padres have actually swung the bats pretty well here since the All-Star break. I know it's a small sample size, but good recent form. Scored 8 runs last night. Scored 19 runs the other day against Kansas City. So maybe the bat's starting to pick up for San Diego. And again, I think they have a big pitching advantage or a slight pitching advantage. Or Martin Perez, the expected ERA, a run higher than the actual ERA. He's been due for some regression all year. Fastball 89 miles an hour. A lot of luck with guys left on base. So I think the Padres are the right side in that one there. And I think I've got one more here. But again, I'm just fascinated by this question. All I could think about is this question. And while I think of my third play here, I will say I played the over Phillies Dodgers here, over 9.5. Both pitchers, Lauer going for the Dodgers, Nola going for the Phillies, both very home run prone. Nola's given up 23 in 114 innings. Lauer's given up 17 and 76. Small ballpark. With those two lineups, I don't play a lot of these home run props. I think we were texting about this on the group chat the other day, Gil. I don't play these homer markets, and every time I look to play a guy I'm interested, the number looks shorter than I want, but this could be a game where the ball's flying out of the ballpark. So give me over 9.5, Dodgers and Phillies. And last thing on baseball, I've been wheeling some of these American League futures. I've talked about this for a couple weeks. I finally fired on it. Orioles, Red Sox, exact ALCS matchup, 250-1. Tigers, Red Sox, exact ALCS matchup, 80-1. And then the other one was Tigers, Orioles, 250-1. I just think the American League, the top is so flawed. I watch the Yankees every day. Until they get Judge back, they've got plenty of issues and a lot of holes in that lineup. The Mariners don't impress anybody. The Rays are a nice little story, but they're no lock to be some force come October. I think any of these teams that can get in have a shot. So Orioles, Red Sox, Tigers, wheel them all, and maybe you'll run into one here.
I think that's a great strategy. In a year where no team is great in the American League, why not take a flyer on a couple of those? Why not in the American League? Who's offering those exactly, Will?
So DraftKings and FanDuel. DraftKings, you just have to parlay ALCS participant. It's just worded differently. And in FanDuel, it spells it out for you where you can actually do one or the other. You can do ALCS, name the finalist, or ALCS, name the exact result, where you start to pick, Red Sox over Tigers or vice versa, and you get some really long payouts. So kind of choose however you want to do it. And some people, I tweeted this, some people suggested throw the White Sox in there. I don't mind that. I just think it's an American League that's about as wide open as any league I can ever remember, which it was last year, and Toronto emerged. So I think some dogs here could be live for sure.
For sure. Last thing on baseball, we'll do football on the other side. We usually, Kelly and I, we've been talking about AL MVP. I've been behind Yordan Alvarez the whole time. Then we talk AL Cy, NL Cy, AL Cy is super interesting. We never talk about NL MVP. You did want to talk about that?
Yeah, I bet him and gave him out before the year, Ohtani, at even money. I said, just put that in the account. Don't make a case for these other guys. It's Ohtani. Don't waste your money otherwise. I don't know when he's going to pitch again. The knee looks gimpy. You can get the field at plus 400. I'm sure in the prediction markets you can get even higher. Mm-hmm. He will be I haven't made a bet yet. He will be an interesting case with how many times he's won. Is there voter fatigue? If he doesn't pitch the second half of the year, if he spends some time on the IL with the knee, and you made the point, and it's a great point. The Dodgers, this is a 162-game preseason for them. Are they going to force the issue with Ohtani? You can get the field almost 4-1 again. Prediction market's probably a little higher. I don't hate that bet. I have a hard time picking who's going to steal it from him. James Wood seems like a stretch. Crow Armstrong is the same price as the field, so just take the field. Yeah. Schwarber maybe could hit 60 homers, but I just think it's possible that Ohtani doesn't win, and I usually don't say that.
Smart stuff as always from Will Hill, again at not the Will Hill on Twitter, host of the Shoulda Bet More podcast. Let's talk some NFL with Will on the other side. It's a numbers game at VSiN, the Sports Betting Network. On a numbers game, the right data changes everything, and the data behind Shopify is hard to argue with. Millions of businesses worldwide run on it, including our own VSiN store. When we launched, Shopify's templates and AI tools got us live fast. Professional looking from day one. No tech background needed. Shopify checkout converts more customers and makes it easy for returning fans to come back and buy again in a single click. Shopify's built-in AI assistant Sidekick is there whenever you need help, building, troubleshooting, or just figuring out your next move. Check out what we built at vsin.com/store. Then go build something of your own. All you need is the idea. Shopify handles the rest. Start your free trial at shopify.com/vsin. That's shopify.com/vsin. Shopify.com/vsin.
The network.
A numbers game on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
It is a numbers game. Dual city numbers game. San Francisco and Las Vegas. Gil Alexander, Kelly Bidlin, Will Hill joining us here. We get tweets at Beating the Book. Leisure Suit Kobe. So much music talk this week. I have this weird thing where when I wake up, I literally hear a song from the day before playing in my head. Yesterday, I walk into the bathroom around 5:30 in the morning. All I could hear was "Since You've Been Gone." Thanks, Kelly.
Yeah, you're welcome. You got that little gem stuck in your head all week now. Me too. Since you've been gone.
Oh, God. Here we go. We have the best list. Have I mentioned we have the best listeners in the game?
Great.
The numbers guys. Wrong again, Gilly. It wasn't the Bengals. Bo Jackson's career was cut short by Blue Swede. Rough start to the morning.
Well done. Well done.
Well done. Well played. Johnny Brock, late post, but what percentage of the pot is LeBron getting from Kalshi to keep the suspense going? I love how people have all these conspiracy theories.
Oh, the pot. Okay, I was like, what?
Yeah. Not the weed, Kelly. The pot of money.
No, I thought you said pod, like podcast.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. Kurz at Fluffy Kittens. He says Paula Badosa continues to get away with it. Saved an insane number of break points these last 2 weeks. It's ridiculous. Fading Badosa again this morning. Again, Kawa 0 of 9 on break points in the first set. She ends up losing in straight. So we do not get that one either. So we're 0-2, but we're up a break on Molkan. Buruchaga is up a set on serve in the second. And Karaeva trying to force a third set. So things looking up here, at least currently in these other matches. And this one is from Shooter McGamblin. If you're an Immaculate Grid fan, you should try the 82-0 game. Pick five NBA players from random eras and try to make a perfect team. Apologies if I'm late. The game's been around. Well, it just so happens that Kelly Bidley was playing it this morning. Kelly, did you ever get to 82-0?
No, it was the best one I sent you, 81-1. But also
81-1.
So the game came out. I know I'm sure Will's played it a million times too. It came out. I checked it out when it first came out or when it got popular like a month ago or 2 months ago, whatever that was. But then immediately everybody was tweeting about the Wilt hack, and I was like, well, this isn't fun. Like, you try to game the system. So I've kind of enjoyed trying to get the best record without Wilt, and oh man, there's some funny combinations. All I know, Gil, is I got James Harden to a 1-win or a 1-loss basketball team last night. Okay,
pretty impressive.
James Harden,
pretty impressive.
He's capable of it, apparently.
This is what happens when your sink is being fixed, as Kelly's was yesterday. You have 2 hours to play 82-0.
Thought that was going to be a short process, Gil. The guy showed up 2 hours late, and then he was there for an hour and a half.
Oh, brutal. Montreal Max. Badosa making it personal now for Gil twice in 48 hours by winning just now after retiring down 0-4 on Monday's delayed final. Oh, don't get me started on her. She's killing me. It's personal. It is. B. Earl Nelson. Red Sox, I do have them. Listen every day. Tailed you on it. Could only get 25-1 at Circa. That's not a bad hit, though. Let's go. Let's do it. Let's get to 15 in a row early this morning. Will Hill is kind enough to join us for a second. Before we do anything else, Will, did you think about the trivia question?
A name I mentioned, and I kind of just mentioned it in passing, like, it can't be Harbaugh because he wasn't a scrambler. But I think he played long enough where the only cheating I did, I pulled up the NFL just standings, divisions, and just went team by team. It has to be Harbaugh. There's no other coach that's a running back. Unless I'm missing somebody obvious, I'm going to go with Jim Harbaugh.
It is Jim Harbaugh. The answer to the question, which current NFL head coach has more regular season rushing yards than Bo Jackson in the NFL? Bo had 2782. Jim Harbaugh had 2787 as a quarterback for both the Bears and the Colts, most famously. I did it the exact same way you did. I went through 32 teams. I'm like, he's the only one it could be. And that's how you come up with that. Yeah.
How did this come up, by the way? How did this question come up? It's a good one.
Danny heard it somewhere and just, he said he was going to throw it in the rundown for us. I'm kind of embarrassed to say this, guys, because I got to Harbaugh pretty quick, too. But then you're trying to, there's someone I got to be missing, right? My next thought, my only other thought was did Doug Peterson run for way more than I'm remembering or something? That was the only other one I had to check on. The answer is no, he did not.
All right, Will, let's talk some NFL. You have not one, not two, but 3 division bets for us. Let's start with the less sexy one, the AFC East. Let's start there.
Yeah, and as bad as my Megapod was last year in the NFL guide, I picked the Bears and the Panthers and bet both those at long odds to win the division. So hopefully we can have a nice year with the divisions and can lead into more Megapod success, please. Hopefully. I like the Bills here. I'm looking to fade the Patriots for all of the reasons we know: Super Bowl hangover, the Vrabel distraction, just the difference in schedule from last year to this. I worry this is a thing we all say all summer and all hear all summer, and then they'll come out and be 12-5 and they'll prove everybody wrong. It does worry me a little bit. But Allen with the Bills, he doesn't miss games, knock on wood. You can pretty much pencil him in. His rookie year missed the playoffs, but ever since then, you could pencil him in for 11, 12 plus wins. I think this is pretty playable, pretty cheap at -125 Bills to win the division. And a couple more with some meat on the bone. I did take Atlanta +425. I just think that's a division where you're not going to have to win 12 or 13 games. You might win it with 9. You might win it with 10. I love their defense. I know we all liked their defense last year. And there's just such a massive upgrade at head coach going from Raheem Morris, who Todd Wishnev will remind us all, he's a nice guy, but not a great head coach. I don't care what you think of Stefanski. Stefanski is much better. And they've got weapons. They've got skill guys. We'll see if they can just get competent quarterback play. Upgrading coach, soft division. I think there's some value there on Atlanta, too, at +425.
Okay. Well, we saved the best for last. And Will, I can already accuse you of being a homer on this one. NFC North, who you got?
I did not like them last year. I didn't think they were making the playoffs. So you know what? They're never good 2 years in a row. Just go back to the last 20 years. I was very skeptical the Vikings would be good. They actually finished over 500 somehow. But I just think this price is a little too long, +510 for Minnesota. Similar to Atlanta, really good defense, really good skill guys with Jefferson and Addison and a tight end, pretty good offensive line. Flores is a tremendous coach. I do think O'Connell's a little overrated, but that's still a pretty good coaching staff. And like I said, they went 9-8 last year. They had maybe the worst quarterback play in the entire sport outside of maybe the Jets. I know nobody loves Kyler Murray. Nobody trusts him. His size, staying healthy, maturity issue, all of that is fair. All of it's warranted. If he could just be the 14th, 16th best quarterback in the league, and you know what? In that system, with that talent around him, can he be a B-, C+ quarterback? I don't think that's impossible. And You could say the Lions missed their window. The Bears probably come back to the pack after a lot of luck in close games, a lot of comebacks. And who knows with Green Bay, they're not going to have Parsons for a lot of the year. So Minnesota was 14-2 playing for the 1 seed a couple years ago. And then ever since then, everything just completely went sideways. I don't know. Could they get to 11 wins or so and be in the mix for the division? I think the plus 510 is a little too long here.
All right, let's talk about all these for a second.
Love them.
So Bills, sure. Patriots, probably considered the only other contender for the division title. Their schedule famously going from one of the all-time easiest to a much harder one. It's Josh Allen. It's the Bills. Totally with you there. The Falcons, sure. In a division like the NFC South with, we had Aaron Schatz on earlier this week. He doesn't like the Saints. The Panthers, I don't think anybody thinks they're any kind of juggernaut, nor does anybody. And maybe some people think the Bucs are still the team to beat. So there is that, but I don't have any issue with you taking the Falcons if things break right. They have a lot of talent on both sides of the ball. So if things break right for the Falcons, I get that play. I like that play. The Vikings, that's the only one, right? So non-surprisingly, obviously it's a stacked division. The Lions with a much easier schedule. The Bears, who have a great offense, going to be an atrocious defense, but a great offense. And then, of course, the Packers are the Packers. The Packers have this streak, and Kelly and I will talk about the NFC North a little later on the show today. Packers are this perennial playoff-ish team every year, it seems like, on the fringe. The issue with the Vikings, because you hit on a couple of these things with the Vikings, if Kyler Murray can be 2021 Kyler Murray or 2024 Kyler Murray, where he wasn't injured, and he actually, and history kind of, blurs this, he was actually like a really, not only a serviceable quarterback, but he was kind of, in one of those years, he was top 10, fringe top 10, and certainly top 15. The only other puzzle piece to that is it assumes, right, because he'll never have as great a receivers. He's never had the trio of receivers that he's going to have this year in Jefferson, Addison, and Juwan Jennings. The only thing I worry about is everybody just assumes that Brian Flores is a robot and could put out this elite defense every single year. And I say this every year, and then he proves you wrong. He's like, look, I did it again. One of these years, he's not going to have an elite defense. And I wonder if this is that year. And if that happens, I wonder if that torpedoes what otherwise was a good handicap.
Certainly possible, but I'll take my chances with Flores. Like you said, he just seems to do it every year. And I remember he came in to the team a few years ago, and it was a bad defense, and there wasn't a lot of hope. And he got a lot out of them, even though the team fell short. And I think they've only gotten stronger. They took a shot on Banks, the defensive lineman from Florida, who's a big boomer bust guy, had some injury issues. But I think the defense will be good. I think it's worth a shot here, a little north of 5-1.
That's definitely your onions play of the bunch. That's for sure. Will Hill. Great seeing you, Will. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Having faith and hope in the Vikings. What could possibly go wrong? Appreciate you guys. Good to see you. I appreciate it. Thanks for having me.
Let's go.
Nice job on Jim Harbaugh, too, by the way. First words out of his mouth were Jim Harbaugh, and he quickly dismissed it, but he came back to it. Well done. We'll come back. Country clubbing. A little golf and tennis next on A Numbers Game at VSiN.